here. Okay, somebody jumped on the gun and started recording it. Good morning, everybody. Well, welcome on. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Scott Buchholz. I'm your host today for the property tour. We also have Yas Hakan, our co-host. We do these national property tours every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we get the privilege and honor of featuring an investor or a team of investors from somewhere in the country, where they get to share their story, they get to share a deal they're doing, a strategy that they're currently doing, and just share our community with everybody. Again, we love doing these on Saturday mornings, and again, welcome everybody. So let's get Jacob on. I forgot to mention the day, and today is Saturday, June 17th, one day before Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We appreciate everybody taking an hour out and joining us today. So Jacob, do you want to come on out?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here. So I just need to preface that we are getting some thunderstorms today here in Orlando, Florida. So I hope the connection stays good. That's all I have to say. So.
Well, I'm sure we'll work through it. So Jacob is they're just like in a suburb of Orlando today, or let's say the property is in Deltona, Florida, which is a community or neighboring city of Orlando. Jacob, you're from the Orlando area, is that correct?
Yeah, so a little bit about my background. I've been in Orlando about 9 years. I'm originally from north of in the country, Vermont, born and raised. So I came down here for school, got a bachelor's of science, graduated in 2016, started my real estate journey in 2017. So maybe like the end of 2017 into 2018. So it's just over about 5 years, almost 6. And yeah, I live in Orlando now, near the airport. If anyone is familiar with the Orlando area, right next to MCO. The property we are discussing today is in Deltona, which is about 35 minutes north of right downtown. So
Jacob, if we could, as we get kicked off here, thank you for sharing a little bit about yourself. It's always interesting to find out, because everybody's story, everybody's situation is different. Their path to real estate is different. So how did you decide to become, what was the trigger, or what enticed you to pursue real estate investing? And also, how did you find our community, and what was so appealing that you wanted to be a part of our community?
Yeah, I love this question. As you said, everybody's story is different, but we all ended up here. So I moved to Florida for college. I got a bachelor's in recording arts, so like sound, audio engineering, and that was my dream job. I wanted to really work in recording studios and like post-production and work with audio and like syncing and things like that. And I got a job in that space right after I got out of school. I had a internship maybe 6 months prior. So by the time I graduated, I was already in the space and had already started making money in my dream job, I guess you could say. About a year and a half into that, now having a lot of student loans, I was just unsure of how I was going to pay these off. the money I thought was going to be there, that, this dream job, it wasn't what I had expected. And so I just was looking for something else. Did various jobs, side hustles, that sort of thing along the way. And I don't know how, or yeah, I don't really know how the idea came into my mind, but somehow I was like, real estate, real estate, real estate. They say 90% of millionaires in the country are so from owning real estate. So I was like, okay, let me try to figure this out. I actually was looking for a property management job. I figured, let me work with an apartment complex or something that can be my foot in the door. Learn about lease agreements, how to vet tenants, and booking leases, and sort of finding a an ad out there on Craigslist, actually, which led me to our community. And it was a little different in Orlando 5-6 years ago. We were just starting the community here. So there wasn't a lot of resources, but luckily there was a nationwide community and resources available to me. So I plugged in. I knew nothing about real estate investing. Never did a deal in my life until this community. Never bought a house or anything. Knew nothing about running a business, or the financial literacy that has come with this. And now I'm full time, and various businesses. Have done numerous transactions, primarily now focused on fix and flips and acquiring rentals, building a pretty substantial rental portfolio, and changing the trajectory and legacy for my family. So pretty excited
That's
to be
awesome.
here. I'm glad that found this community, because I'm not sure what I would be doing if I didn't, or just probably still struggling, just trying to figure things out. So this has definitely given me a lot to focus on and plan for, and just having bigger goals and a vision. So
Well, it's so interesting when we do these tours to hear, the background and people's stories and their their path to real estate and how they got started and things like that. And I think a lot of people can resonate with you, Jacob, being in a place where, you talk about a lot of student debt. I mean, obviously the country, there's a lot of student debt out there, and people with a lot of student debt, you know, they're looking at the numbers and they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And a lot of times when people find the community, they've never done a deal before. They've never acquired a property. They've never done a flip. They don't have a rental property. Sometimes folks have already got rental properties and they want to be a part of a community and grow their business. So again, I appreciate so much you sharing your story, because again, that's going to resonate with a lot of people out there, because there's folks on today, as you know, Jacob, that are already a part of our community, but then we have a lot of folks on that are guests that maybe this is the first time they've ever seen our community and experienced something that we do as a community. And again, today being your property tour and sharing your property and your strategy, we just appreciate you a lot for coming out. Now, this strategy is fix and flip. You mentioned you also are doing rental properties. Are you doing long-term and short-term, or just long-term rentals?
So I have pre-COVID, I was doing short-term rentals. I have since then gotten rid of them. There's doing the arbitrage way, but I like traditional long-term rentals. Honestly, I know there's, you know, great opportunity in the short-term space, a lot of money to be made, but that's not my I guess ID, as you would say, or as
Right.
we would say in our community. I kind of like it to just set it and go. Now, if you're doing single family, there are challenges with that when it comes to turnover, vacancy, repairs, that sort of thing. It's a little bit more risky than if you were doing, say, multifamily. If one tenant, you know, moves out, you're still able to, you know, the business is still able to run, as opposed to you have one home and the tenant moves out. Well, now you got to find a new renter quickly. So have short term, or I'm sorry, have traditional single family. So, you know, me saying that is, you know, I'm obviously I'm taking a lot more risk right now, but I would like to step into the multi-family space very soon. So
Awesome. That's excellent. So it's really nice to share kind of like how you found the property you're going to talk about today and the deal that you're going to talk about. It's always neat to kind of share the little bit of the story on that, like how you came across the property. You know, did you find it through a wholesaler? Did you find it through Craigslist? Did you find it from the MLS? Did you find it from relationships that you built? So can you talk a little bit about that for everybody?
yeah, this one did come from a wholesaler, and sort of relationships that have been formed with, you know, with that wholesaler, and the way that the acquisition to this is very interesting, just because so my company, we have three members, so myself and two others, Aaron and Jason, who they're actually both on vacation, so I am here running everything right now. But
So
we had
we get the A team today, right?
yeah, I guess. But we, you know, we all have our individual roles. So myself and Aaron are kind of more on the acquisition and negotiation side. I handle like the analysis, market analysis, deal analysis, rehab estimates, basically all the numbers. Aaron is sort of the day-to-day and project manager. And then he'll handle, you know, the negotiations when it comes to offers. He knows how to talk to people and, you know, form those relationships better than really myself or Jason. So, you know, he handles the front of that. And then Jason, he's a broker and a realtor. So that's a plus, having him on our team. And so he'll handle kind of the minutia and the bills and the listing and making sure, you know, the contractor gets paid on time and that sort of thing. So we all have our roles, and we work well together. So this one, Aaron was at property, met the wholesaler out there, and, you know, we have the communication and the system to where he'll walk the property and send me real-time videos and photos, and I'm behind the computer crunching the numbers, running the rehab estimate. And so within, I don't know, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes now, by the time he's sent me everything, finished walking the property, we're able to make a offer really right there on the spot. So that's really exactly what happened with this one. I think there were about 4 or 5 other investors at the time that had walked the property, or that were walking the property with him and the wholesaler. But just because of our system and, you know, the way we run things, we were able to submit an offer right there and get it locked up. submit the deposit, and here we are.
So let me throw something in here. It's always interesting because you did mention early on that when you found the community and got started, you had never done any real estate before. You'd never bought any rental properties. You never did any flips, things like
Yeah.
that. So being a part of this community, and being connected with the education that all of us that are a part of this community are involved in, how much has that been able to help you learn how to be able to kind of get you where you're at today, of being able to put an offer together in 10, 15 minutes and to actually learn how to build those relationships? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. The community's been monumental in my success. I know there are certain cases where people have done it themselves and maybe through books or however you've done it. I mean, you've had to be educated. You have to get educated. Something you're not gonna do just on a whim. You have to educate yourself. However you do that, it's up to you. I mean, I would definitely recommend getting more plugged in with the community
Freezing up a
here.
little
If,
bit there, Jacob.
I'm breaking up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
You're clear on my end, Jacob.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
it's Scott that is frozen, I think.
So
Well, guys,
yeah,
everybody hold.
having the support and just the network has definitely been on. And Jim Rohn says you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I want to hang around millionaires and billionaires, and if you're hanging around 5 millionaires, pretty good chance you'll be the 6th one. So that's really what I saw from the community. And we have a lot of resources, obviously the education is phenomenal, top tier. But resources like these webinars, I'm online with 66 people we're all over the country. So, there's networking opportunities, a lot that has come of this. So yeah, I wouldn't say without the community, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I probably would have figured it out because I'm just that person. I'm gonna get things done. If I have a goal or I have a vision, I'm gonna figure it out. It has definitely sped up the process and being able to mastermind and learn from others that are doing it or have done it or way ahead or where I want to be. So yeah, the community has been phenomenal in that aspect.
I absolutely agree. That we have a lot of sayings in our industry, but one of them is that real estate investing is not a solo sport; it's a team sport, and you're really showing that with the group that you're with, your 2 partners, what they bring to the table, and being connected to our community and giving back today. We love the fact that we have so many people in our community that love to give back and share their story, their inspiration, their deal, and to kind of give a few golden nuggets away along the way. So Aaron went out and met this wholesaler at this deal. This is through a relationship you built. And we talking the word wholesaler. Is that something you're ongoing looking for additional wholesalers, or do you have a good core of wholesalers that you look at their deals at?
Yeah, great question. We do. We've bought in property from a few specific wholesalers numerous times. So we tend to look at their deals a little more favorably. But yeah, I mean, we have things set up to where it's more so just analyzing a lot of leads. We stay busy, so we've done other campaigns and like, you know, mailing campaigns and that sort of thing, and actually have utilized the software that our community offers to send out, you know, mailing campaigns and things like that. That's how I also run my rehabs, my estimates. So, you know, the software has other tools in it as well, that I use pretty heavily on a daily basis. So, yeah, it's just really building those relationships. There have been other deals where just word of mouth, you know, hey, I've got this deal. Do you want to check it out? Yes, absolutely. Or, you know, I've got this situation. Can you help me? Or, you know, things like that. So it definitely, it is a team sport, like you said. And actually, I've never done a deal by myself. It's always with another individual or individuals, plural.
Well, awesome. So you guys can talk a little bit of how you got this property under contract, and was there much negotiation? You mentioned already there was like 4 or 5 other investors looking at the deal. How did you end up winning the deal and getting the property?
So I don't think there was a lot of negotiation. I think we came in. I have my numbers in the slide, which I know we're going to touch on later. Oh,
Yep.
there's the thunder. You can hear it. So I think I'm just looking really quick. We came in a little lower than where we purchased it, or what we purchased it at, and they had come back and just said, hey, we have it for this price. Can you do this? And it wasn't so much of a difference to where it was a big deal. So they were, you know, very transparent where they had their assignment contract. They said, you know, can you do this and at this price? And again, it wasn't enough to break the deal. So we were like, all right, you know, and we signed the contract, and that was it.
Well, obviously knowing your numbers and learning how to run your numbers, because, you know, again,
Yes.
we say this quite often on these property tours, you make your money at acquisition. If you buy the property at the correct price and you know your numbers, that's where you actually make your money. Would you not agree?
I completely agree. Yeah, you make your money on the purchase, you get paid on the sale. So
There you go. There you go. So I know you got some pictures to show us, and then we'll
yeah,
get to some numbers. I know a lot of people are excited to see the before and after pictures. And because you've got this property on market, so you're kind of show us a listing on it after you show the before pictures. So if you want to share your screen, that would be great.
can you see it?
Yep, if you could enlarge it. So there you go.
Is my screen. All right, so we'll just get into it, huh?
That's right. Yeah, and let everybody know kind of the bedrooms and the bath, you know, how many beds, how many baths. I see looks like a lake behind, right behind
Yeah.
it too.
Yep. So
Cool.
this house, actually, when we got it, was a 3-2 on a lakefront, and we converted it into a 4-2. So that we converted the garage into an additional bedroom. So you can see the driveway there to the right. That window there was a
Mhm.
single bay garage, and we converted it to add value, really. So in this area, a single bay garage wasn't really going to, whether it was there or not, wasn't going to hurt. Well, let me back up. Having it didn't add as much value as adding an additional bedroom. So we decided to turn it into an additional bedroom. It is on a lake, fully, full lake. You can, ski on it, boats, all that. So
You get to play with any of the alligators there?
no, haven't. We have, well, last, I guess fall or something, or I forget. We've had this for a little while, and I can get into that story. But we have had some flooding, so it being very close to the lake, the water rose a little bit. We had some hurricanes, so something to be aware of, especially in Florida. You want to check flood zones. We have random sinkholes, things like that. So definitely different things to watch out for when you're in Florida. Not a lot of basements, so you don't really have to worry about flooding in that sense. But if you are in a flood zone, there is still that possibility. So you just you want me to go through and just show the befores?
Absolutely.
All right, so here I'm gonna go back real quick so you can see. So you can see before what it looked like. We replaced the pillars here out front. You can see there's the garage. Brand new roof. So these are just the befores, and then we'll jump over to the listing. I'll show you guys the afters. This was the kitchen layouts. We did open this up a little bit, which you'll see here in a minute. The bathroom, so the one on the left, the yellow, is the guest bath. The one on the right was the master. So this is, on the left, you're looking into the master closet, and then on the far left, that like wall there, that's where the entrance to the bathroom was. And then on the right hand side, we did a 180, and now we're looking at there's a door, French doors. Well, it was a sliding door, but we actually put in French doors to open up. There's a little patio area, which looks out right over the lake. This was a sort of like a bonus space with older style windows. Now we're getting into the demo. So this is right when you walk into the house, this is what you see. So we gutted the whole kitchen, opened it up. You can see there at the top where the old, framing of the kitchen was. There was a entrance. If you're looking, all the way through the kitchen there, that entrance went out to the mechanical room. So you had we had the water heater, electrical panel, your washer dryer hookups. Those are all right there. That used to be the doorway. You go back here, I think. Yep, you can see that door right there in the kitchen. We closed that up, and basically the door to the right of that's the entrance to what was the garage. So we added, basically framed out a hallway, and so we moved the door from in the kitchen to on that hallway to get into the mechanical room. That room on the left is this bonus space. So opened it up quite a bit. Had to run some new plumbing and fix the electrical, as you can see. So opened up some of the walls there. The bathroom, that'll be the guest bath. Here's where you can really see everything. So on the left is the master. So on the far left again, that was where the original doorway was, and then where the new doorway is actually where the entrance to the closet was. So the bathroom and closet were right next to each other. So what we did, there was a utility closet in the hall, or like a linen closet, but it was a very big linen closet. So we closed the entrance of the linen closet from the hallway, and we opened up the entire bathroom. So instead of having it separate, this entrance over here on the right of the left photo is now the new entrance to the master. And then right as soon as you enter the bathroom on the right, now is that linen closet, but now it's a giant walk-in closet. So you've got some of the bathroom on your left, and then the closet would be on your right. And then this photo on the right is the guest bath. This was the construction of framing in the additional bedroom. So we are standing basically in the entrance of the garage. So that's that mechanical room I was telling you about. You can see behind the water heater where the old entrance, that doorway from the kitchen used to be. And then the photo on the right, we're basically standing in the kitchen. That would be the entrance that I showed you guys prior, which goes into the garage. So we added that that wall, and then we added on the right side basically turned that into a hallway, and the bedroom, additional bedroom, is on the right. This is that back area. So replaced all the windows, had to frame out some of the windows. Let me tell you, windows, I don't know how they are right now. I think they're still kind of difficult, but at the time there was a long back order for windows if you wanted custom windows. I think it was like 6 months. And in the real estate space, time is money, and especially when you're doing flips, you're paying interest to your lenders, obviously, taxes, insurance, utilities, all the holding costs will, you want to get in and out as quick as possible to minimize those holding costs. So instead of getting custom windows, we went to Home Depot or Lowe's and just bought the generic windows they had. And then we had to, because they weren't really the correct size, our contractor did an excellent job of, we just had to frame everything out to fit the, Home Depot, regular windows. So just something to think about, how can you gotta be kind of creative, how can we still deliver a good product, but where it's time and cost effective. Whoops. So now we're getting into, the drywall and everything. The left photo, we're standing right inside the master bedroom. So you're looking at that wall where everything was opened up, where I just explained how we reconfigured the bathroom. And then on the left there, you can kind of see at the moment, the sliding glass door that goes out to the little patio area. The right photo is that new closet. So you can see kind of the gray in the back. That was where the entrance from the hallway was, of basically this giant linen closet that they had. So we, again, closed that entrance off, and now we're looking into the walk-in closet. That right there is back into the bedroom, and then behind us basically is behind and to the left, which I'll show you in a minute, is just the bathroom.
Now, Jacob, did you or Jason or Aaron do any of the labor work on this, or did you hire everything out for contractors?
That's funny. Yeah, no, we hire contractors, professionals. So I have personally done work in the past, but I'm not in this business to be, working on my properties. We want to buy properties, and so if my time is spent painting and framing, and I don't even know how to do some of these things. So, we hire professionals for that, who can get it done a lot quicker, and at a quality that we want. So we let the professionals do what they do. We stay and we do what we do. So, and it also, if my time was spent basically, working in the business, I won't have time to run the business and look for more deals.
Right. So now you're talking about some things that a few little things, I wouldn't call them major obstacles at this point, but did your budget change quite a bit from when you first, you mentioned you kind of ran the numbers, made an offer, did your budget change much from that as far as your renovation budget?
We were pretty close to what we had estimated. We did go over, full disclosure. But it wasn't nothing crazy. We were still, kind of in the wheelhouse of where we wanted to be. So
Excellent.
the left photo here is from the backside of the kitchens, so where that entrance used to be. So that's the mechanical room, the washer dryer hookup. The middle photo is the kitchen. So, we framed up and drywalled, covered that entryway. And as you can see all the can lights going in. And then the right photo was where that we opened up the wall to replace the plumbing for the guest bathroom. So now here we're getting into some of the finishings. So the left is the master shower. The right photo, now we're actually standing in that walk-in closet and looking out into the master bathroom. So the piping there coming out of the wall, that's where we put the vanity. We got a double vanity in there, and then you can't see it, but right around the corner there to the right, that's basically where the shower is. So we got the toilet kind of right there, a little to the right of the window. The vanity is right there against the wall, and then the shower is back there to the right. And then that entryway to the left goes back into the the bedroom. Okay, so this is where I was going to show the after photos. That's fine. Or did you want to do the numbers last, right?
Correct. If you want to go to, we've got about 20 minutes left. You want to go to the after pictures. I'm sure everybody's as excited as I am to see what it turned out to look like.
Absolutely. So here's the after product. You saw the front already, but brand new roof, new paint. We replaced those pillars out front. You can see the closed off, no more garage door. It's the window. And here's the after product. This is staged. Like it's not virtual, actually staged. So this is obviously the entrance. We're standing 180 of basically the kitchen is behind us. This is the looking out into that bonus area where we closed up all of the windows or reframed the windows.
Hmm.
Opened it up. So where the fridge is where the entrance was to the mechanical room. So just a little different perspective. The main entrance to the house is right to our left, about 9 o'clock. You can see back again into that bonus space where we framed out the windows, and now you can. It's a lot brighter, a lot brighter. Added these can lights in there. Gorgeous view out to the lake. This is 180 of that prior photo, so we're looking back into the dining area. The kitchen is right there on the left, and then into the living space. This is the master. So replace the sliding doors with a French door, and there was a little fence out here. I don't know if you guys saw prior, but we got rid of that and added some pavers out there. Sorry, just muting somebody. This is again 180 of the. So we're basically standing in the corner. Over here where the the side table is, the lamp, we're basically standing in that corner, looking the opposite way. So this one door on the left goes right into the bathroom. So you walk in, to the left is the bathroom, to the right you have the master closet. So where the chair is where the old entrance to the bathroom used to be, and then this is where the current door went into another closet. So basically we opened it all up and combined the two. This is the master vanities. So his and hers dual vanities. Bedroom 2. So new floors, baseboards, paint, new fixtures. This is, I think this is the same bedroom, but we're looking across the hall. That's into the master.
Mm-hmm.
Bedroom 3. This is bedroom 3 as well. Looking across the hall, that is the guest bath. Here's the close-up of the guest bath. So went from a nasty yellow to a beautiful granite and tile.
Looks fantastic. Wow, that's a nice living space.
Yeah, so there is an additional like enclosure. So we had that inside enclosure, which we reframed all the windows, and then we have this outside screened patio area as well. So there you can see the two, the screened and then the enclosed space. That little patio paver area, that's right off of the master bedroom, so, and it looks right out over the lake. So there's the different perspective. You can see the French doors. And then that's the view right from the
That's
back.
beautiful. That's gorgeous, right on the lakefront.
Yeah, so when I said it kind of flooded, literally the water line came all the way up to those trees. So all of those trees were underwater. Well, obviously not completely, but they were all right in the water.
Yeah. So a couple questions here, Jacob. And I know we're going to get to the numbers because everybody's obviously very excited to see the numbers. We've got, question about, how much value did you add to the property? Well, we'll see that with the numbers here in a second. But you mentioned earlier a couple times, you talked about the software program that we have available to us through our community. And we call it the iOS, Investor Operating Software. And that's something quite a few of us in the community use. And whoever invited you out today, if you want to learn more about that, reach out to them and they can spend more time talking about that. This afternoon, right after this property tour, in about 15 minutes or so, if you guys are on today and you want to learn more about that question, the investor operating software, you want to learn more about our community and about the education that Jacob has referred to multiple times, we do have kind of an overview of our community. It's on a different Zoom link. So whoever invited you, get with them and they'll actually get you connected. And it starts at 5 after the top of the hour. And it'll get into a lot more depth than we can cover during the property tour. But that's a great question about the operating software program. Let's see, a couple of that yellow, any of those tubs, did you reglaze them or did you replace them?
Yeah, great question. So the guest bath we actually did. We what is it called? Epoxy.
Yeah.
So like white epoxy. Yeah, right there. So if you saw in the when we had the wall open, the demo, the tub was actually still there. The yellow tub was like in the middle of all the mayhem. So yeah, we actually saved that. And then the master, there is no tub. It's just the master shower.
Right. Let's see here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're all set. I'm
I
fine.
think we're getting
Some
most of the questions answered for folks. Yeah, I was just making sure that we had a few minutes to answer questions here.
So let me just, I missed one thing and I apologize. So when we took these photos, we were actually still working on the conversion. There was a little bit of a process with permitting and getting city approval. So I actually don't have any photos of the finished conversion of that additional bedroom, but I mean, it's very similar to, the other rooms that you saw, just with a fixture, the fan light. So I apologize for that.
No worries. And so did you have to pull permits for electrical, plumbing?
Yeah, we pulled permits across the board. Had to submit, plans for the new conversion, measurements, all that. We had some challenges when it came to finishing it, when it came to the energy calculations. So you learn something new, I swear, on every deal. No deal is the same. No rehab project is the same. So having to figure out energy calculations, the efficiency of the property and it holding, in Florida, primarily air conditioner. So it holding, air properly and just making sure everything is sealed with proper insulation. We still put insulation. So that was something interesting, something I never had dealt with up until this point.
Great. Can we go ahead? We've got about 10 minutes here. Let's jump into some numbers because I know everybody's excited to see that.
Sure. Yeah, so we talked about this already, but acquisition was, we talk.
Jacob, did we lose you?
Sorry, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, the storm got us. Let me get back into this PowerPoint. All right, so should have gone. So we talk heavily on relationships and knowledge in this community and leveraging those. The rich focus on those two things. So building your relationships and acquiring the right knowledge. If you can leverage those two, you can create an income for yourself. We're taught, growing up, or that's just kind of how society is, that you trade your time for money. You trade time for money. They never teach you about relationships, and we hear the saying all the time: knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is the real power, because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't do anything with it, it's useless. So leveraging your knowledge with the right relationships, building that proper team, is what we really drill home. And in turn, you can create an income from yourself, and the leftover resource in that equation is time. So you leverage your knowledge, relationships to create the money, to create an income, and then you can choose to spend your time however you want to, because money's just a tool. Money, money's great. We need money to do things, pay bills, travel, give back, whatever you want to do with your money, but that's just a tool. The real wealth and real, being financially free. Again, the financial part is cool, but for me, it's being able to use my time however I want to, because I don't have to clock into a job. I don't have to trade my time, give my time to somebody else for them to give me a paycheck. Nothing wrong with that. I think we've all been there and traded our time for money. I actually still right now trade my time for money, because fix and flips are very transactional. They're very what's the word? Like, if I don't find a flip, if I don't go find another deal after this one, I'm not going to get paid. So I'm still trading my time for money, but I'm doing it on my terms. And so that's where you start getting into, you have to start looking at either building better systems, replacing yourself. So right now I do a lot of deal analysis, market analysis. So, replacing me in that position, to allow, more time freedom. And then once you get into buy and holds, or, short-term rentals, however, now you're creating that, what we call passive income, to where if you don't want to get out of bed today, it's up to you. If you want to go to Hawaii for a week,
Yeah.
you can still enjoy that and still have an income. coming in.
So
So,
Jacob, before we run out of time here, can we go over the numbers? Because we are
yes,
at
sir.
the top of the hour. Yeah, I know.
I
I mean, that's
love,
all great
yes.
information. Go ahead.
So here's everything broken down. I kind of bunched the holding and closing, all the carry costs basically together. So we came in originally at I want to say 203. As I mentioned, there was a little bit of back and forth. The wholesaler had the contract at 206. So we came in at 203. They had it at 206. They said, could you do 209? So, the wholesaler made $3,000, very, modest, generous of them. They weren't trying to, whack us over the head with that wholesale fee. So we settled at 209. As I mentioned, I utilized the operating software that we have available within the community to come up with my renovation budget. We estimated 70,000. As I said, we went over a little bit. We were probably pushing more like 80. And then all of our carry costs, so holding and closing, and that's, taxes, insurance, interest, utilities, and then the closing costs, when we go to title and fees and all that. So it was right around 35.
So Jacob, during the remodel, did you have any type of debt service you had to pay monthly payments on, or was it all due at closing?
We didn't have a payment for, I believe, the first 3 months, but yeah, we
Okay.
did have a payment to make.
And did you use different sources of funding? How did you acquire the property, and how did you fund the rehab part?
So yeah, I didn't use a single dime of my own money. It was through privates and hard money. So the hard money lender was able to fund 75% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab. And then we went to a private investor for that remaining 25% plus some. So when we are, offering these deals and getting a position in on them to any private investor, we typically will ask for a little more, and that just kind of sets us up for whether the rehab, or if we do have interest payments to make. So we factor those in, of course, and then as the project starts going, we're able to get reimbursements and draws from our hard money lender that's covering the rehab costs.
So looking at the numbers here, the purchase price was you got 209 on here, and then your renovations was about 80,000, and you're holding and closed 35. So that's about 324 if I do my math here. So what is your potential profit on this with the ARV of 385?
Well, and you could do the math right there. So 324, we're looking at about 60, 65, I think.
That's the deal. And how many months did it take you to do the deal to get it to this point?
So we're actually into our late period. So, we're over our estimated time it took to this, or took to complete this. We're almost there's other factors that came to this, but we're almost like 11 months.
Sure.
Yeah, we're almost like 11 months in, so almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, so typically that's, which we don't like. Took a lot longer than anticipated, but hey, those things happen and you learn from them. And luckily we have, there was enough spread in here that we still should be profitable.
Yes, yeah, so your holding and closing costs, that includes your money costs.
Correct.
So even with that factored in, you're looking at potentially around $61,000.
Correct.
That is fantastic. That is awesome. Did doing the permits, I know Damon's asked this question several times. I'm sorry, Damon, hadn't got to it. Did it take you very long to get your permits? Was that part of the process of the 11, 12 months?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a holdup when it came to the permitting and the planning, and obviously you got to get everything approved. You've got to do the work, then they come out and inspect, and if they don't pass, then you got to fix things or whatever. So there was definitely that was probably where the biggest holdup was. And then also, like I said, the those energy calculations, like it was just something new that we had never dealt with before. I believe our contractor was, it was something everybody we had to work through and work with the city on.
Well, the project turned out fantastic. Being right there on the lakefront, I'm sure that's going to be a big draw for you. So excited and very honored and privileged that you took an hour out today to share this deal, Jacob. As we're getting wrapped down here, because we are at the top of the hour, and I know we could go on for a long time here, but kind of wrap up, what would you like to leave everybody with as far as words of encouragement or any kind of a golden nugget you'd like to throw out to everybody here as we wrap up?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for, having me and giving me the opportunity. I used to be on the other side of these screens, like all of you, learning and looking at a way to get into the space if you're not already, or you're not with us. So, just, I would say, keep showing up. That's something one of my mentors always told me is, I was discouraged at times. And he just said, keep showing up, no matter what you do, just show up, because 90% of life is just showing up. And the other 10% is what you do when you're there, and you're going to get out of it as much as you put in, and the time and attention that you do. So I'm not exceptionally special. I didn't know how to find deals when I started. Like I said, nothing about real estate, knew nothing about running a business, very minimal financial literacy. So I would definitely get plugged in more with the community. There's tons and tons of events that you guys can get on if, again, you're not with us already. So just, keep hanging out with us and keep hanging out with people that inspire you and motivate you, and where, people you can learn from.
Well, thank you, Jacob. Guys, everybody have an awesome Father's Day weekend. Look forward to seeing you next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we'll get to share another investor or team investors from across the country. So please come back and invite a guest, and love to have you guys out. Jacob, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And for anybody who's going to want to jump onto that overview of our community and learn more about a lot of the things that Jacob talked about today, make sure you get back to who invited you, text them, tell them you want to get on that, and so you can get the link. Guys, have a great Father's Day weekend. Jacob, again, thank you.
Thank you.
And all right, everybody have a great weekend. Thank you.